Okay, so welcome to episode 2 of the Quincy Love Sports Podcast. Today we are going to be talking about the MLB playoff picture. And I'm actually very excited to talk about this. I'm a huge baseball fan. I'm a Cubs fan. I live near Chicago. And before the stream starts, I'm going to give people some time to get in. I just want to say thank you guys for 200 subscribers. I was streaming and the stream blew up with a bunch of people and I got 200 subscribers, which is really great. I thank every single one of you who subscribed. You guys are really special. And thanks for 200. I kind of really wanted to say that, but I'll give you guys some time to join the stream. But I just want to say thank you to that. I mean, you guys are awesome. But I might be uploading a 200 subscriber special. I might not. I'm not sure. But just know I realized I hit it. And I thank all of you for subscribing. And I see we've got a few people in the chat. Hello to you guys coming in. And Quincy, I shouted you out on my latest podcast. That's cool. Shout out to Oscar Jimenez. Go check out his podcast. I'm not 100% sure what it's called, but he'll tell you. So make sure to check that out after this podcast video. This isn't really a podcast. I just call it a podcast. I have no idea why, but okay. So now let's go. Okay, so I say we start with teams that have clinched and who has yet to clinch, okay? And stuff like that. So the Red Sox clinched the East. We'll start in the American League. The Red Sox clinched the East. The Astros clinched the West, and the Indians clinched the Central. Red Sox are 105-51. Houston is 98-57, and Cleveland is 87-68. Let me just get over here. And the Yankees have officially clinched a wild card spot with a 95-60 record, and the A's have not clinched a spot yet. However, they have a 94-62 record. They're a game and a half behind New York. I'm sure they'll be vying for that home field advantage. And then Tampa Bay is the closest team, 6.5 games back. But I don't see the Rays catching on. The A's pretty much have this locked up. The A's would essentially have to lose every game, and the Rays would have to win every game. So The American League is pretty much set. It's going to be Red Sox, Astros, Indians, and then Yankees and A's in the wild card. So now let's go to the NL real quick, and then we'll get into some stuff. So the Braves have clinched their division with an 88-68 record. The Dodgers have not clinched yet, and the Cubs have not clinched yet, but they are both in their respective division leads. And the Cubs have a 2.5 game lead on the Brewers, and the Dodgers have about a 2-ish game lead, 1.5 game lead on the Rockies. So it's going to be between the Cubs, Braves, Dodgers, and then Milwaukee holds the first wild card spot at an 89-67 record. And then St. Louis actually holds control of the second wild card record at 87-69, and Colorado is a game and a half out with an 85-70 record. And just so you guys know, I'm going to make my separate bracket predictions. That'll be a separate video. That was the most popular video on my old channel, and I nearly picked it perfect. I had Dodgers, Astros, and Astros winning. It's just if I would have picked the Yankees, I would have had it perfect. But anyway, other teams, there's some other teams that I think have officially fallen out. How do you feel about the Addison Russell situation? Okay, so the Cubs got Daniel Murphy off of waivers. So they're probably not going to be with Russell anymore. He's probably going to be traded to another team. But I like Russell. He's my friend's favorite player. I love Russell a lot. It's going to be a shame to see him go, but yeah. Okay, so now let's get to playoff seeding and stuff. So the let's go with the AL first, then we'll go to the NL. So, Boston holds, I think they've officially clinched the number 1 spot. They're most likely going to. They're about 7-ish games ahead of Houston. So I do expect them to clinch that. So Boston is number 1, and then Houston is gonna be at number 2, and the Indians are gonna be at number 3 because the Indians actually have the worst record out of all the playoff teams. But since they're in a sorry excuse of a division, they have the division lead. So then it's gonna most likely be it's pretty much just gonna be the Yankees, A's, in the wild card. Winner gets the Red Sox, and then Indians, Astros will play. Oh yes, Blake Snell for Cy Young. Blake Snell will 100% should win the Cy Young. But let's start with the wild card game. And a thing that I think hurts the A's is they're a game and a half out of the first wild card spot, which would get them home field advantage, which the A's have some pretty good fans, I will say. But the A's are a game and a half out of that position, and I think there's a chance they catch it, but it's going to be hard. I think that the Yankees are probably going to get home field advantage in that department if I were to guess so. But the A's, I do like their lineup a lot. Matt Chapman has been an absolute beast. Chris Davis has 43 home runs. He's obviously a threat. They got a bunch of guys on their back end that can do damage. This A's team I thought they would finish last in the West. I was completely wrong, as they have come up out of nowhere, and they're about to make the playoffs. So now the one thing is that their star pitcher, Sean Manaea, is going to the DL with Tommy John surgery. And Manaea pitched a no-hitter earlier in the year against the Red Sox. And he pitched a no-hitter against the Red Sox. So we know he could shut down people at any time. And Manaea had been pitching very well besides those 2 games. So he's gone now. And he was a guy that I thought the A's could put in to shut down the Yankees a lot in that department. So without him, that's a big loss. They're going to have to... Let's see who their pitchers are. Oakland Athletics pitchers.
These are pitchers for the Athletics.
So possible guys they could start in the wild card game would be Brett Anderson, Chris Bassett, Paul Blackburn. None of these guys I think are really solid. They would probably go with a guy like Andrew Triggs or something. Not Andrew Triggs. Brett Anderson or someone like that. So their pitching's not great, okay? They do have some good players in the bullpen, however. Alex Bregman, no, he's not winning the MVP. It's JD. JD's the number 1 candidate. But they do have some guys in the back end, so... I think that what they're going to have to do is have their starter get through about 5 innings and then go to that pen. They're going to have to go for about 5 innings and then get to that pen. They have what about NL MVP? A little biased. I'm being a little biased, though. So... I'm going to say Fires versus Tanaka. I would say it would probably be more something like Fires versus Severino. I don't know why they would start Tanaka in the wild card game. But for the Yankees, they would probably start a guy. They should start Severino. I say there's no way they start Tanaka with how inconsistent he is. Masahiro Tanaka, I think, might be the most overrated pitcher in history of the MLB. He either pitches 7 shutout innings or gives up 7 runs in the first inning. He's so inconsistent. It's unbelievable. So I'm actually going to say that they'd start Yeah, Tanaka has been solid in the second half against Oakland. I still say they go with Severino. J. Happ could be an option, but I think Severino has to be the option. He's by far the best pitcher on this team. I need to stop playing with that. Get over there. I think Severino is by far the best pitcher on this team, and I don't really see them going away from that. So I think it's probably going to be Severino who starts. It's going to be probably Severino versus Anderson or Severino versus Fires. Now to the lineups. Who has a better lineup? If Brett Anderson's a righty, I think. Who do you like to start the playoff game for the Cubs? Lester or Hamels? Lester, probably. Lester has the most experience out of any pitcher. He's been in those situations. I think you got to give it to a veteran in that situation. But trust me, we'll get to the Cubs. So, yeah, Judge is off and on. They're saying if Judge is healthy. I think they're probably going to rest Judge this last half week, with them already having clinched. So, I expect Judge to be back. But I think this is going to sound weird, but the way I would make their lineup, Hicks leading off in center, Judge second and right, Stanton third DHing. Didi's out. Yeah, I think Didi is out. Torres fourth, Andujar fifth, and then yeah, you're right. Stanton versus Davis would be fun. But I do think that I think they would probably go with Hicks, Judge, Stanton, Torres. If Didi comes back healthy, maybe he bats. I don't know. Andujar, probably the AL Rookie of the Year. It's either going to be him or Ohtani. It's going to be a tough race in that department. But, yeah, Stanton is a strikeout machine. But I don't know. For the A's lineup, I'm not too familiar with the A's. The Oakland Athletics hitters. So I think they would probably
find any matching plate.
Show me Oakland Athletics players.
Here's the roster for the Athletics.
So they could probably put like prospect people that I think could come up in this playoffs. Do you take the Braves serious? I 100% take the Braves serious. We'll get to them later. Franklin Barreto would probably play well. Mark Canha has actually played well. Chapman, Chris Davis. They could put anybody in the leadoff spot. Matt Joyce has been playing well. Jed Lowry's playing well. Lucroy's good. I say you put Lowry leading off, which sounds a little crazy, but Lowry leading off at second. Chapman second at third. Davis third and left. And you could pretty much go Eddie. Probably Piscotty fourth, Semi in fifth. And they got like Lucroy they could put in. They've got Joyce. They've got a bunch of guys that I think are very good players. So it comes down to who I think would win this game. I think the A's can pull it off. Anything can happen in the wild card game. Even though I do think the Yankees have the better team, I think the A's are coming in with so much momentum. Even though it would maybe be in New York, I'm not sure how this one would play out, but I do think that Oakland might have a chance to win that one. So then the winner would play Boston. I would love to see Boston and New York, but I'd also love to see Boston and Oakland. That would also be a good matchup. So I think the world wants to see Boston, New York, but the world also wants to see the A's win. So it's a win-win for the baseball world. Either we get the heated rivalry between the Red Sox and Yankees, or we get the A's coming out of nowhere as the people's favorite. And I'd be fine with either. However, I do think the Red Sox are the much stronger team than both of those teams, but I feel like both of them could give them a good run. I mean, the A's have some good pitching depth. The Yankees have good pitching depth. Both of them have fire lineups. But I feel like both of those teams could give the Red Sox a good shake. Because, think about it. The Red Sox are 105-51. They have 105 wins. The Yankees have 95 and the A's have 94, so they're not far off. So either one of those teams, I think, can give the Red Sox a good shake. let's say the Yankees, they could start Tanaka in game 2, and if he's on, he could maybe pitch as well as Sale. No. I don't know. I think the Red Sox would be the favorite no matter what team they played, but both of those teams would have a chance to get him. I say with either one of those teams, that series is going at least 4, maybe 5 games in the ALDS. The AL is too. The AL is so top heavy. You have the 5 good teams, and the next closest team is Tampa Bay with 87 wins, and then Seattle with 85. Then it whoop-hoofs into the Earth's crust with the Angels only having 75 as the next team. Like, when you only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, when you only have 7 teams with a winning record, that's kind of bad. I mean, I don't know. It's just they're so top heavy. Then you got the Orioles at the bottom at 45 and 110. So, another series I want to talk about is Astros Indians, which is looking like it's going to happen. Even though the Red Sox have an incredible season, the Astros are still the team to beat no matter what. I don't know. Verlander versus Kluber, says BJ57. That's going to be insane to watch. That game might go 0-0 into the 8th with 1 or 2 hits. I'm not even kidding. Playoffs Verlander and playoffs Kluber are both 2 monsters to be reckoned with. That's probably going scoreless into the 8th. But I think the Astros have a lot. It's going to come down to Correa and Springer. You have more subscribers than me now, says 19 Savage. Yeah, I'm sorry, bro. Guys, if you're not subscribed to 19 Savage, he needs 1 more subscriber to get to 200. If you're not subscribed to 19 Savage, go do it. He's 1 subscriber away from 200. Do it now. If you're not already, now. Do it now. That's not an opinion, that's an order. No, but I think that Kluber might get the best of Verlander, but after that, I say the Astros have a lot more pitching depth, and they've got a lot more stuff like that. I mean, I feel like the Indians aren't as good as people say they are. I mean, they're going to be hard to beat, the Astros. But the Indians are also, I think, not given enough credit. I think they have the guys that are going to probably bring them maybe back to the World Series, but I think the Astros are coming in with too much momentum. But there is a chance the Indians knock them off. BJ57, yours, 200 sub. 19 Savage. Alright, you know what? 19 Savage, you deserve a triangle of applause. Congrats, man. Anyway, let's keep going. So, I think that it's whoever wins game 1 wins the series. Between the Indians and Astros, whoever wins game 1 wins the series. I think that's probably going to happen. I know the Astros are coming in with a way better record, but the Indians have guys like Ramirez and Lindor and people that I think could show up in the playoffs. Even though they have that thing where they get a 2-0 lead or a 3-1 lead, they kind of, yeah. And I think that's probably going to stay the same. I think the Astros have to be the favorites in this division. Indians in 4, it's not going to be Indians in 4. If the Indians are winning, it's going 5. But I think I'm going to have to take the Astros in that one. So then we'd probably get either Astros Red Sox, Astros Yankees, or Astros A's, which would be fun. And any of those would be great. I swear, any of those matchups would be awesome. Like, let's take Boston versus Houston. Sale versus Verlander? Yeah, that might happen. Bregman versus Betts, Springer versus Martinez. Good grief, that would be so great. Ace, yeah, I think that would be so great if we got Astros Yankees. But another thing that could happen is Yankees Astros again, which I wouldn't complain about. It would be Severino versus Verlander, and if the Indians we could have Severino versus Kluber or Kluber versus Sale. So many of these are dream matchups I want to see, and we're going to probably get at least one of them. But I don't know, man. I don't know who can come out of the AL. They're so tightly packed. But the Astros have owned. The Astros have kind of owned the Red Sox in the past, but I think the Red Sox are a different team this year with JD, and they're going to probably get home field advantage throughout, and Fenway fans are something else. So I don't know here. I realize I've just spent 20 minutes talking about the American League. We still haven't even gotten to the National League yet. Red Sox over Indians in 6 games. I could see that happening. I 100% could. I feel like Cleveland's not getting enough credit, even though they are in like the weakest division of all time. My chair just broke. So yeah, my chair high-key just broke. Yeah, my chair high-key just broke. This is like literally the back half of it. Oh my god, I need to get a new chair. It's friggin' all like rusty. Like, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Get out of here. Okay, now that I have to sit on a freaking bar now, I mean, look at this. I need to get a new chair. I'll get a real good one too. But yeah, I think the favorite has to be the Red Sox. But I can see a lot of teams beating them. The Astros can beat them. The Indians can beat them. The Yankees can beat them, and the A's can beat them. All of those teams have a chance to beat the. They all have a chance for them. So now, I think that's enough with the AL. We're going to the NL. And this, if you thought the AL was tightly packed, you're going to be so shocked when you look at the NL. The leading team in the NL is my Cubs with a 91-64 record. And then after that is the Brewers with 89 wins. Then the Braves of 88, the Cardinals of 87, the Dodgers of 87, and the Rockies of 85. So it's so tightly packed. If you're going by the 6 teams that have a shot for the playoffs, the best team has 91 wins and the worst team has 85. That's a 6-game difference between 6 teams. Anybody can beat anybody, and anybody can lose to anybody in this league. So I think the first thing we have to start with is, will the Rockies pass the Cardinals for the second wild card spot? The Cardinals currently hold the second wild card spot with an 87-69 record. And the Rockies have an 85-70 record. They are 6 games, or not 6 games behind. They are 1.5 games behind. Do the Rockies catch the Cardinals? Maybe. There's a chance. I don't see it happening, though. The Rockies are also 1.5 games behind the Dodgers. I'm sorry, my friend's being really annoying. They could catch the Dodgers. I don't see it happening, though. With this amount of games left in the season and with the caliber of these teams, I don't see it happening. So now to Brewers, Cardinals, wild card. 2 teams, ew. Ew. The Cardinals and Brewers, ew. 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 I don't like either of these teams. But the winner would get the Cubs if the Cubs hold on to the number 1 spot. And I can totally see. I'm going to come out with my official picks, but in a separate video as soon as the season ends, I'm coming out with my picks. But the Cardinals and Brewers, I think it's got to go to the Brewers just because of the lineup of Kane, Yelich, Thames, everybody being so good. Travis Shaw, I mean, Scope's been playing well. Everybody has been playing well, I think, at the right time for the Brewers. I think they have to be the favorites. Baez versus Yelich. Ooh. MVP talks? This is so uncomfortable, I'm telling you. You know what? I cannot deal with this uncomfortable chair. Look at this. That's what I have to lean against. Look at this thing. Hold on. Let me get the cushion back. I don't know how I'm gonna deal with this piece of junk. It's all rusty. I don't even know where I found this chair. Okay, hold on. Okay. So, alright. I wish I could agree with Carpenter because he's my fave, but he's fallen off these last few weeks. It's the last few weeks of the season. I mean, if we get 6 home runs in 7 days, Carpenter, Cardinals are probably definitely winning that, but it's an if. And I like how the Nationals are eliminated from the playoffs. That's kind of funny. I think the Brewers have this, though. I think Yelich and everybody, and Hader coming out of the pen, I can see that happening the most logically. But either team would face my Cubs, and I think either one of the teams could give the Cubs a good shake. I mean, they're only 2 and 4 games back respectively from them. Now, Brewers-Cubs would be great. I mean, I'd watch that. That'd be insane. But the Brewers, I mean, the lineup for the Cubs would be Almora, Now, what Joe Madden does with our lineup is, like, nothing what I would agree with, but it works. Like, I would do something Cardinals over Cubs in 5. No way. I don't see the Cardinals making it out of the wild card game unless if Carpenter comes up, if Carpenter shows up in the wild card game, they'll win. But I feel like the Brewers pitching could hold him in check. But Cubs and Brewers, I think I'd have to take the Cubs in there because I think Lester, Hamels, like Hendricks, stuff like that, I feel like they have a way better pitching than the Brewers. But I don't know. I mean, any of this could happen. So I feel like the Cubs lineup is way more potent than the Brewers lineup, and the pitching definitely goes to them. So I think the Cubs are just a better all-around team, even though I think the Brewers have been playing better recently. The Cubs, I think, would have home field advantage. You guys don't know how much people come out to Wrigley. Wrigley, they come out. Okay, and then I feel like the Cubs win, but either the Brewers or Cardinals can beat them. Then we'd get, this might be the matchup I am the most excited for. Braves, Dodgers. I want to see this. Are you going to a playoff game? I went last year to the Game 4 of the NLDS against the Nationals. And I don't know if I'll go this year. I mean, I went to the World Series in 2016. I went to a playoff game this year. I might go this year. I might not. I'll see what I can do. Maybe. It's a maybe. I hope I get to do some live reactions. I might even stream like each game of the World Series or something like that. That'd be great. I'd love to do that. But I think that Braves and Dodgers. It would probably be Fulton-Nuevich versus Kershaw. And if you guys don't think Mike Fulton-Nuevich is a good pitcher, he is great. Fulton-Nuevich is a very, very good pitcher. And I think that he would probably get the start in Game 1 against Kershaw. And this Braves lineup, I'm telling you, is something else. The Braves lineup features, like, it's got Acuna, it's got Albies, it's got Freeman, it's got Markakis, it's got a bunch of guys that I can think match up to the Dodgers. I really do. And as of now, the Braves are 1.5 games better than the Dodgers. I could see, the question is better. Which 4 players are better? Acuna, Albies, Markakis, Freeman? Or guys like Machado, Turner, Turner, Muncy, and all them, and Bellinger. I think the Braves might be better. That sounds crazy, but I feel like the Braves are coming in with so much momentum, and the Dodgers I feel like are coming in with less momentum, as I think they thought they were going to be so much better than they did. When do these even start? So, the MLB playoffs, the season ends, I think, October 1st. I think the playoffs start around the 3rd, I think. I don't know. It's the very beginning of October. I know that for a fact. But I don't know. I feel like the Braves might have this, but either or. I mean, I think Kershaw gets the better in game 1. Wild card games are the 2nd and the 3rd. Okay, that makes sense. Wild card games are the 2nd and the 3rd. That would make the most sense. But, okay, guys, let me know in the chat. Should I do a live reaction for the entire wildcard game? Both of the wildcard games, AL and NL? Live watch entire game for wildcards? Okay, so the NL is the 2nd, AL is the 3rd. Alright. No, but, would you want to see me do an entire reaction video? Ooh, 2 yeses. Oscar Jimenez and 19 Savage. Yeah, okay, I think I'm probably going to do that. Especially AL, yeah. I probably won't do it for every single series. I might do it for every game of the World Series, maybe. But that'd be awesome. I really want to do that. But anyway, I think that Kershaw wins game 1. Teheran wins game 2. And 3, 4, 5, anybody's game. Anybody's game. 3, 4, 5 can go to literally anyone. I kid you not. It can go to anybody. I think the Braves might pull this one out, though, because if you think about it. If you do not have home field advantage, if you are the away team, and you pull just a split on the road, you automatically have home field advantage for the last 3 games. So, at least do 5 of the DS games. Yeah, if there's a game 7, I'll do it. When it comes to streaming for games, if it's a game 7, definitely. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see that when the time comes. Let's count those chickens when they hatch. But I'll probably be doing it for the wildcard games. But I think the Braves might have this, but it's going to be so close. And then you get to the conversation NLCS matchups. Cubs-Braves, Cubs-Dodgers, Dodgers-Brewers, Dodgers-Cardinals, Braves-Brewers. So many matchups, man. So many matchups. And my favorite matchup, even though it's the top 2 teams, Cubs-Braves, I don't like picking the top 2 teams. But it's literally going to be so close. And it's going to be so close. But I think the favorites have to be the Cubs by a game or 2. I don't know. Let's say Cubs-Braves. Lester versus Fulton-Owevich. Baez versus Albies. Acuna versus a bunch of guys. Man, it's going to be so crazy in the NL and in the AL. I literally cannot wait. But I like Dodgers Cubs again. I mean, I think a lot of people are going to complain if it's Dodgers Cubs for the 3rd year. And I don't blame them if they complain if it's Dodgers Cubs. But it's not like the NBA Finals where it's LeBron versus 5 guys every single year. I mean, it's going to be competitive, and it's been competitive all 3 years. So, I wouldn't complain if it's Cubs-Dodgers. I mean, I'd be like, but I want some new teams. Yeah. Would you go to Game 7 of the World Series? I probably couldn't find tickets, but if I could for a reasonable price, I would 100%. But I don't know, man. I just don't know. I think it's got to be the Cubs, Braves, or Dodgers. But any of these matchups can happen, and anything can happen. So, hold on. So, yeah, I mean, now let's talk about World Series matchups. Red Sox, Cubs. Astros, Cubs. Indians, Cubs. Yankees, Cubs. A's, Cubs. I mean, Astros, Dodgers again. That'd be great. I mean, Braves and Indians. Battle of 2, Native American people. it would be absolutely insane. I mean, Dod, Dod, I mean Dodgers Red Sox. I mean, Indians Braves. I mean, Yankees Cubs. Yankees Dodgers. So many matchups that I think would be great. But let me know in the chat right now. Chat right now. Your World Series matchup, and I will preview every single one. Don't go crazy now. I'll only probably do about 3 or 4. But what's your World Series matchup, and I'll tell you what it'd be like. What is your World Series matchup? It's anybody's game, but who do you guys think will be in the World Series? Red Sox versus Cardinals, a rematch of the 2013 World Series. That could happen. I don't see the Cardinals getting through the NL. There is a chance if Matt Carpenter comes to June form or whatever the month that he was. But the Red Sox would probably smoke them. But man, that'd be pretty good. I wouldn't complain about that. But I think the Red Sox would probably win that. Hey, Uncle Luke, what's up? You're a little late, buddy, but thanks for joining. I just got back from school. Yeah, my school gets out at 2:09, my time, which is kind of crazy. We at my school we have to be at school at 7:50. We have to be at school at like 6:40, but we get home at like 2:09. It's great. I have to wake up at like 6, but I get home super early. My school gets out at 3:05. Yeah, okay, so that's 4:05 my time. Or no, wait a minute. 3:05 your time would be 2:05 my time. So you get out at like the same time I do, ish. I don't know. That's irrelevant. But I think this playoffs is gonna be great. These playoffs are gonna be absolutely great. Now, when it comes to streaming, I'm gonna talk about streaming for a bit. AL and NL wild card, I will probably most definitely stream. My Atlanta Braves coach the NL East, and they're going to the playoffs. Yeah, we talked about the Braves earlier, Uncle Luke, and I think they have a chance to play my Cubs. I think that it's going to be great to see them and the Dodgers, because that's probably going to end up being the matchup. But yeah, when it comes to streaming, okay, I'm definitely streaming the wild card games. That'd be awesome. Streaming the wild card games. When it comes to the division series, I'm probably not gonna stream the division series every single game. I mean, that'd get a little repetitive. But like, if it's close, if it's tied to the 9th inning, I'll stream. If it's a crucial game 7, I'll stream the entire game. But I love the MLB playoffs. I actually play baseball myself. I don't think you guys know like how much I love the MLB. It's just when it comes late into the season, when you know the playoffs come, it's kind of been being a little bit boring. So you kind of start talking about football. And football's obviously popping right now, but I'm telling you, I cannot wait for baseball season. I'm going to stop the stream at exactly 40 minutes. It's 38:26 now, but I promise you, I'm going to be coming out with my bracket video as soon. Where are you from, Quizzy? I'm from Chicagoland area, okay? So you got like Chicago here and then the Indiana-Illinois border. I live barely in Indiana. So I live like right in the middle of Indiana, Illinois, but it's like so close it's considered Chicago. So I live like half an hour away from Chicago. But when it comes to my picks, I'm going to do like that. I'm gonna do them as soon as I can get the as soon as the season ends. I'm coming out with the MLB bracket video. Like that's 100% gonna happen. But it's 19 Savage, you're from Oklahoma and you're a Texas fan. Okay, but I cannot wait for these playoffs. And if you guys aren't subscribed, which I'm pretty sure all of you guys in the chat are. I went to Carolina Panthers versus Cincinnati Bengals game yesterday. Nice. I wish I could go to more Bears games. The Bears games are literally so expensive. But, hey, the Bears are the division lead. I'm so glad about that. Another thing. College football week 5 picks are coming tonight. And NFL week College football week 5 is tonight. NFL week 4 is tomorrow. All right, I think that's going to do it. Thank you guys all for 200 subscribers. I love you all, and I'll see you later.